What are the books of life? They are our books and our journals and where we keep information as we grow throughout our lives so we can see how we're growing, right? And how our lives are changing, where we keep all our gratitude, where we capture gratitude, our ideas, inspiration, and truth that changes you. Now, at the end of the Painless Planner, I've included some sheets where you can fill this in, but I would recommend all you got to do is get two journals, okay? This is my book of ideas and my book of memorization. I keep it in here, and I keep my gratitude and my small plates in another journal. It's just two. Okay. When do I fill these out? I fill them out in my daily disciplines. If you've gone through that portion of the course, you see that in here, in this part of my morning routine, in the 10 10 10, right? I pray for 10 minutes, I read my scriptures, and then I journal and reflect for 10 minutes. This is where I go and fill in my book of gratitude and gratitude journal, my small plates. All right. So what are these and how do you track them? Okay. So all I do, guys, and this is literally mine, and you can see that I keep track. I don't know how many I have now, maybe like 17 journals, and then plus my mission journals. But anyway, this is how I do it. You can follow the structure I have. I write three things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my wife, for my baby, for all everything, right? There's so many things to be grateful for. What else do I write? I write three wins, three things that I won at, right? The next thing I do is I write three things that I'm grateful that will happen. Okay? Right here. Grateful that will happen. So I'm manifesting things that I believe will happen. And then I end up and I say three things that I'm grateful about my wife. She's beautiful. She's amazing, great mom. I do that every day. Okay? It usually takes 10 minutes, right? And at the back of the journal, I keep track of my small plates. All right. These are things these are spiritual experiences. This is how God has influenced my life, his hand that I can see. The reason why I keep it separate than just keeping it in all one thing, like in the front as I go through it, is because I think like my posterity, my kids, my grandkids, or anyone that reads this, I think they'll probably be a little bit more interested in going straight to the spiritual things, the small plates, and reading through that instead of having to find those as they go through my journal, as they're reading like wins and gratitude and all that stuff. I think that's more for me to like manifest and change my perspective on life and be grateful. This is, I think, the what's actually really important, because if you read the scriptures, what are the scriptures? Like, yes, it's a record of what happened in history, but it's more the stuff that we love to read are the spiritual experiences, right? How God has influenced the lives of many, right? And that's what I love. So that's why I keep it. And I've been doing this for a while, and this is how I journal. I used to just write like dear journal, or dear family, this today did this and this and this, and I stopped doing that several years ago and just started doing this process where it's three things I'm grateful for. And I got that from Henry B. Eyring. He said, write three things you're grateful for. Wins, I got this from Psycho Cybernetics. Basically says if you write down things you're grateful that wins and things you're grateful for and things that will happen, it will manifest and you will become a winner. You're going to make sure you're a winner in your mind because you're basically training yourself to do that. And then things that I'm grateful will happen. Same thing. Like you're going to manifest it. And things I'm grateful for my wife is my wife's the best. I need to appreciate her, and that helps me as I recognize what she does daily. But the small plates, again, are for the spiritual things. So I recommend getting a journal and doing that. All right. Now, when it comes to the book of ideas, I read an awesome book called The Majesty of Books. It basically teaches you the best way to read books and the best way to memorize and internalize what you read. Okay, because there's no purpose in reading stuff if you can't remember. So in the books of life, I have right here things that I write down as I'm learning, right? As I'm reading, I write. Sorry, it's my baby. She wants to come in, but I write things that I'm learning as I read. Okay, and what I do is that's the book of ideas. Now, at the very back, I keep the book of memorization, where as I read through my book of ideas, I take specific things I want to remember and I put them in the back and I read those daily or as often as I can, and I memorize those things by just reading it out loud, right? So this is the process. You read from your book of ideas, you mark all the helpful thoughts with a pencil, okay? You read, mark all the helpful thoughts with a pencil, think and make decisions on what ideas you're going to utilize in your life. Put specific ideas I marked into my idea book. Um, so you take the specific ideas, you put them. Sorry, this specific example is what do you put in your idea book. So you take the specific ideas and you put them in your idea book. Then you review and memorize the most exciting ideas. Use the book of memorization. Read current volume. That's what I do daily and previous volumes weekly. The rest I don't need to memorize. Stamp them. The rest I don't memorize. Stamp them deeply in my memory and into my brain. Uh, my brain cells, so I can become deeply acquainted with those ideas. I want to have an intimate speaking acquaintanceship with those ideas, so I have them in my subconscious, and the Holy Ghost can help me to recall them when needed. So that is the process, and I'll go through it just one more time super fast. So you read. As you're reading, you're marking helpful things in your idea book. Okay, you think and make decisions on ideas you want to utilize in your life in your idea book. This is the idea book side, and put specific ideas I marked into my idea book, and then you're going to review your idea book at the end of maybe filling it up or as you go, as I do it as I go, and you want to memorize the most exciting ideas. You put the most exciting ideas in the back, and then you review them consistently. Like this one right here. If I were to teach someone to be a good salesman, I first teach them to be a good man. No plan is a plan unless it's written down on paper. Each time you read something with a new purpose, it becomes a new book. That's why the scriptures are always different, because you're a different part of your life every time you read them. Be strong on reading, but even stronger on remembering. I love that one. It's because, like, who cares if you're reading a lot if you can't remember anything? So this is the process that I've learned from the Book of Majesty, the Majesty of Books, and it's really helped me to memorize. I've memorized a lot of things, a lot of quotes, and they blessed me in my life. So these are the books of life. There used to be a lot more that I recommended for people, but I've narrowed it down to make it simple. I've narrowed it down to those four, but technically two books, right? Gratitude journal, the small plates, and then you have your idea book and your book of memorization. Keep those your whole life. Incredible. I love reading through my idea books. I get so much out of it, and I'm like, oh man, I can't even remember. I can't believe I read that. I don't even remember it. Right? But thankfully, it's stamped in my subconscious, and I can bring it back. And I do remember it. Maybe I just don't remember it at that time I'm reading it. But yeah, that's my invitation to you guys: is get some books of life. It will help you. It will bless you, and you keep track of them during your um, keep track of what you're doing during your daily disciplines in the morning. Write in your journal and reflect if you have the time in your book of memorization. Hopefully this is helpful, guys. We're coming to the end of the course. Please leave some comments. Let me know if this has been helpful. I've spent some quite a bit of time doing this and trying to figure out the best way to deliver this information. I hope it's coming through and it's helping you guys out, because it's blessed my life. All right. Talk to you later.